Hello and welcome to my Collaborative Technology Plan overview. In this presentation, I will provide an overview of my group's technology plan. The main objective addressed in our plan was to increase access to Wi-Fi by increasing broadband in our schools and eventually institute a one-to-one policy in our district where there is one device available for every student. By integrating new technologies in our classrooms, we aim to bring a modern 21st century learning environment to our schools that will provide students with interactive lessons that will prepare them to be successful in all aspects of life. As we move into a more technologically demanding world, it is important to equip our students with the skills and knowledge they will need in order to be the best they can be both personally and professionally. Our mission is to provide equal access to Wi-Fi and devices to our students that will increase productivity and enhance the learning environment for all. We also aim to provide practical lessons that will serve to develop the 4 21st century skills as outlined by Scheninger. These skills are communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Our vision is to provide a technology-friendly learning environment for our students and staff. We aim to provide our students and teachers with cutting-edge tools that will encourage increased participation and engagement in our classrooms. Networking will be strongly encouraged in our schools, as being connected to a learning network can provide students and teachers with endless educational opportunities. Social media will be introduced to students in a way that can promote learning in a safe and controlled environment. As previously mentioned, the 4 21st century skills I will be focusing on for this assignment are communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. Our first goal is to enhance the existing infrastructure in order to increase broadband and Wi-Fi access in our schools. By doing this, we aim to enhance the learning environment by giving our students and teachers access to a greater number of academic resources that would aid in teaching and improve learning outcomes. In order to reach our first goal, we would need to conduct extensive research that would explore the different service providers as well as the pricing associated with the desired services. We would also need to look into what is required and what standards need to be met in order for these changes to occur. We would also need to know what changes would need to be made to the existing infrastructure for these changes to take place. Goal 1 aims to address each of the 21st century skills as previously mentioned, in that communication will be encouraged and enhanced by giving students the ability to participate in class remotely when homesick from school or if they are otherwise engaged and unable to come to school for personal reasons. With increased communication options, missing school does not have to mean missing out on class material. Students will also be able to communicate with teachers more easily via email. Collaboration with other students will be promoted through online group work or activities that require students to research online databases. Creativity will flourish as a result, as students will have access to so much more through online resources. They will no longer be limited, and they will be able to explore resources from other countries and increase their learning by being exposed to new ways of thinking that will challenge them intellectually. Students will also be encouraged to think critically, especially in terms of assessing sources for validity and relevance. With increased access to an unlimited number of sources, a student will now have to decide for themselves using critical thinking skills whether or not a resource is viable. They will also develop skills that will allow them to sort through information and select only what is important and necessary from a large amount of data available. Our second goal is to implement a one-to-one program in at least 50% of district schools by December 2020. We plan to include the rest of the district schools in this program by May of 2021. We believe that a one-to-one program is important and that increased access to devices will help students reach their full learning potential. We aim to achieve our second goal by requiring educators within the district to complete G Suite training that will prepare them to teach using these new technologies in their classrooms. Additionally, teachers will be asked to create curriculums that integrate technology into their classrooms. We ask that they integrate the use of Chromebooks into their curricula and lesson plans. We also believe that communication is key, and we will keep parents in the loop via email, newsletters, or other social media outlets regarding program progress, as well as what the program entails. Goal 2 aims to address each of the 21st century skills as previously mentioned, in that communication will be encouraged in classrooms as both students and teachers engage in hands-on learning practices. Students will be introduced to new devices and new programs that will aid them in their studies and give them greater access to the tools and resources they need to be successful academically. Students that are more knowledgeable about certain programs or devices will be encouraged to allow will be encouraged and allowed to assist their classmates that are not as comfortable using new technologies. Students will be able to assist each other while the teacher is helping other students, allowing for greater learning opportunities to take place. Likewise, in certain situations, students may be able to assist their teachers when using new technologies in the classroom. Creating a dialogue between students and teachers is important in fostering healthy student-staff relationships. Additionally, as stated in Goal 2, students will be working with students from other schools, and giving each child access to a smart device will allow students to work remotely and stay in contact with one another through safe and secure online tools such as Zoom, Skype, and email. Collaboration, as mentioned above, will be encouraged through working in small groups to complete the end of the semester project with students from neighboring schools within the same school district. Students will be encouraged to work together and share ideas while thinking critically and creatively to respond to the project prompt they have been given. Creativity will flourish as a result of students having increased access to online graphics, databases, photos, and more. Students will also learn from each other as they work in their small groups to complete their end-of-semester project. They will be encouraged to think outside of the box when responding to their project prompt. Through the sharing of ideas, the students will be challenged by each other and be able to develop new and potentially innovative ways of thinking. Critical thinking will be promoted in that students will be able to use their devices to engage in online activities that encourage them to think outside of the box and employ critical thinking and problem-solving skills when given a variety of scenarios. These interactive tools will help students develop and refine critical thinking skill sets that they will use for the rest of their lives. Our third goal is to develop strong relationships with stakeholders through branding, networking, and outreach programs in the community. We believe that establishing a positive public image is important, and we also believe that being involved in the community is equally as important. In order to achieve our third goal, we will use software that is user-friendly and easy to use. We will also use software that enhances and encourages communication between stakeholders. We want to keep our stakeholders informed of programs within our district and progress being made. We will also provide our educators, both administrators and teachers, with the professional development opportunities and tools they need in order to be the best they can be for our students. Goal 3 aims to address each of the 21st century skills as previously mentioned, in that communication will be enhanced by creating a public image or brand that will help schools within the district not only market themselves effectively to students and parents, but will also allow there to be an added degree of transparency between faculty and families. Communication is key, and it is of critical importance that parents and guardians be kept in the loop regarding school activities and school decisions. Increasing transparency through added modes of communication will help students and guardians feel more comfortable by letting them know what is happening in their schools. School websites will include important contact information, times when parents can call or come in to ask questions and provide information regarding extra help for students and other Blackboard-related activities. Using platforms such as Blackboard will serve to connect students to their classrooms from remote locations. Teachers will be able to communicate with students via Blackboard posts, and students will be able to communicate with one another as well through the use of discussion board forums, etc. Collaboration will be enhanced through using tools like Blackboard, where students will not only be able to communicate with their teachers and peers online, they will also be able to work together to complete assignments. Additionally, discussion board forums on Blackboard will encourage academic discussions among students that will be monitored by teachers to ensure appropriate, accurate content is being explored. Students will be able to post threads to the discussion board forum and respond to one another, creating a marketplace of ideas. Creativity will be enhanced. And Scheninger states, Web 2.0 tools, social media, and mobile learning devices have the power to unleash the creativity of our students. By integrating new technologies into our classrooms, we not only allow students to demonstrate conceptual mastery through learning artifacts, but also allow them to create their form of art. Students will be encouraged to collaborate with their peers to find creative solutions to problems. Critical thinking will be enhanced in that students will apply critical thinking skills when completing assignments, both online and in the classroom. Having an online resource like Blackboard allows teachers to upload assignments to a class folder, giving each student access to classroom materials remotely. If a teacher chooses to assign homework via the class Blackboard site, students will be able to apply their critical thinking and problem-solving skills to meet the requirements of the assigned work. This may require them to do further research on their own, using additional online resources to find information which they will then need to evaluate themselves for relevant and applicable content about their work. for learning outcomes by increasing students' access to Wi-Fi and technology that will enhance the learning environment. We expect there to be a number of measurable outcomes resulting from the implementation of this technology plan. First, we expect there to be a significant increase in test scores, graduation rates, participation, attendance, and more. We expect students to be more engaged in classroom activities, and we expect an increase in participation. There are also a number of unmeasurable outcomes that we expect to occur. We anticipate that students will be able to communicate more effectively and efficiently and be comfortable and confident when doing so. We also expect that they will have a greater understanding of how technology works and that they will be able to apply their knowledge in a practical setting, both in the classroom and beyond. We hope to provide students with the tools they need to be successful, and we hope that this plan will be the first step of many in the right direction toward preparing the next generations for a technology-filled world as well as a technology-demanding workforce.